Hello everyone, it's been way too long since I've been around. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, life threw some dumb shit at me. It cost me a lot. Time, money, you name it. A fucked up sleep schedule for, much longer than I liked. It didn't even less time to do anything related to, talking and chatting with all of you. But, hey, I'm back for the most part. Didn't really want to, do a full-on game today. I thought, you know what? I haven't done the one thing all VTubers do. Just talk. Just talk to all of you. Do dumb shit. So I thought, you know what? I'll just tell some old D&D stories I have. That way, just playing a game in the background. Something I can do mindlessly. And yes, I may have a bit of a problem. Shut up. I can hear some people judging, but it's fun. It's fun. There's nothing wrong with me enjoying a game. Just never know who I want to play at. As when I start up, there's just so many choices. It's great. I'll just go with my favorites. Or more like my absolute favorites. But yeah, as I said, I'm back. I'm happy to be back. And I'm just gonna, only gonna stream for a little bit. I want to tell all my stories in one go. So, we'll just have some fun. But whew. Coffee in there. Dying. Sorry about that. But alright, now let's see. What story would be the best? You know what? I'll just talk about my very oldest character I've ever had. And he was a fighter. And it was playing 3.5. That's the system I learned on. On hell of a system to learn, I'll tell you that much. It's pretty much, for anyone who doesn't know, it's just Pathfinder. Just a little bit harder. Because some more technicalities. These are, as far as I know, the people who, originally did Pathfinder were just the crew that left D&D because they didn't like the direction it was going. So they just took what they liked, the 3.5 system, and fine-tuned it. But, alright, I'm just getting distracted here. But yeah, I honestly don't remember the name of this character. It's been a long time. It's been many years. All I know is some of the great and terrible memories from him. Mostly the fact that, yeah, he's probably the character that's gone through the most shit. And I mean that in almost quite literal sense. You name a bad situation, there's a good chance he may have gone through it. Dying? Oh god, yeah. He died all the time. Never permanently. He just got to experience it enough to, never fear it. It literally, after the 5th death, the DM just said, you know what, he's died enough to deserve this. Just gave me a free feed of immune to all death effects, or all death-based fear effects. Just fucking that up there. And with that, yeah, he could charge in death absolutely fearless. This But a little bit about the party he was with. It was a small group. It was him, he was the fighter. I had a wizard with us and a rogue. For all three of us, it was our first time ever playing tabletop. So we decided, we're gonna go with a simple basic party formation, and you know, we all decided. So who's gonna be what? The rogue, that was an easy one. Me and the person who ended up being the wizard, you know, we ended up playing rock, paper, scissors, see who is gonna be the wizard and who's gonna be, well, we both wanted to be the fighter. It's like, hit things. Simple. Little did I know. Yeah. Anyone who says fighters are basic bitches have obviously only played it 5e, because there's so much you can do with them. You get to feat every single level. Well, all the even levels you may be restricted to a combat feat, but you're a fighter. You know what you're going in for. You're going in to wreck skulls and mess up people's faces. Yeah, our DM, oh. No offense to my current one, you tin can. As much as I love you as a DM, you will never be the best DM I have. And part of that's probably just the, you know, nostalgia effect. And I really did enjoy those campaigns. They were my first introduction. The DM was extremely experienced and he handled us right. Even with all the dumb shenanigans we did, all the stupid stuff. The fact that, you know, I couldn't go long without dying. Sorry for that character, as much as I love them. But, yeah. Where was I at? Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you some of the funny stories about that character. Yeah, so that character ended up dying a grand total of, let's see, 7 times during the entire campaign, and we went from level 1 to level 15. Into not a short campaign by any means, but our we all worked together, so our schedules lined up perfectly to where we could dedicate a lot of time to it. And enjoy ourselves. Yeah, great memories, but yeah, 7 deaths in total throughout the entire campaign. The other 2, nope, they never died a single time. It was always me. And I can't remember a single time where it was a glorious death. You know, a death where it's like, yeah, this is one I can be proud of. No. They were all stupid. And I just don't mean the regular kind, the stupid ones where it's like, oh, bad roll killed me. No. They were something else. So the first one, I don't remember them all imperfect because some of them were just unforgettable in extremely short duration. As in, you know, did I really die? Yes I did, but it just didn't register and click properly. The first death was, I should probably actually tell you a bit about the campaign, shouldn't I? There was a major revolution going on, a kingdom that was tyrant, basic setup, and our group was going around trying to, you know, correct the misdeeds of it. It started off on our own, small group. Started off actually as a bar fight. We met in a bar fighting. Let's see, the other 2, they were just, you know, minding their own business. It's our wizard. He would just, you know, sitting there at a table enjoying a meal on his travels. was the rogue. He was there for, you know, rogue things, sitting in the corner trying to get some information about the town, whatnot. Me? Oh, I was straight at the bar, drinking, making merry, having fun. And then, well, typical drunks. One decided, hey, I don't like your face. Some stupid reason. The whole reason it started is pretty forgettable. It was just something that happened. And then, yeah, it ended up in a massive bar fight. Well, I originally thought it's like, oh, it's just gonna be, you know, me fighting this drunk. The other two eventually coming around to, you know, help me or whatnot. No. This bar fight went retardedly big. Everyone in the bar was eventually part of it. It's like I'm walking out of the bar. Are you limping, hanging off the wizard's shoulder? Or the rogues, you know, just shredding his stuff, going to like laughing his ass off. It was fun. It's like very start or Forest was a combat encounter where it's like, you know, weapons are a dumb idea. Why? It was a bar fight. Don't pull out weapons for a bar fight. The chairs and bar stools, oh, those are another matter entirely. I use those to, you know, knock a few people out. Oh, then. Yeah, it ended up we had to kind of run from the town. We did not handle it right at all. Well, afterwards the DM told us, it's like, you know, you could have talked your way out of that, right? And we're all just dumbfounded. It's like, wait, we could have talked our way out of it? And you just look at me, it's like, guy, look at your stats. It's in. I was like, yeah? So? I'm not, for a fighter, I wasn't exactly strong, especially in a system where, you know, your melee damage is heavily based off your strength. I think I had a high dex and I wound up with my #1 stat period being charisma. No idea how to use it. They get explained afterwards. It's like, you could have, you know, tried to talk civilly instead of, you know, the guy insulting your mother and you instantly breaking a bottle on his face. It's like, he insulted my mother. What was I supposed to do? Cool. Then, you know, you said I was pretty fucking strong. And so I had fun with it. And yeah, no. Such a great time. But yeah, if you haven't noticed, I'm going to get heavily distracted talking about this. Sure. Hope you'll put up with me and just laugh at my retardation. But yeah, no, eventually it's like, we start off as just, you know, a ragtag group of idiots that, you know, bonded over a bar fight. They getting harassed by local knights that were corrupt and whatnot, and, you know, eventually decide, you know what, fuck them. Fuck them and their dumbass face and policies. We're not gonna put up with it. So we take the fight to them. Start off just us originally, and, you know, eventually we, yeah, let's see, if I remember it correctly, the noble in this one town was really pissing us off, harassing us with everything, literally trying to deal with the so-called problem that was us, and well, we were just trying to do things. It's like, we weren't trying to harass the noble or his knights, but, well, we didn't exactly take his shit. So, yeah, it ended up being, we decided, you know what, we're just gonna raid his place and steal his shit. Fuck him up. And during this whole ordeal, well, we meet up with these people that decide they're gonna help us out. How are they gonna do it? You know, they're gonna off the Lord after we made a nice clear path and we're a distraction. They thank us afterwards, tell us, like, you know, you guys did a good job there. Thanks to you, our job was simple. This guy has been a real pain. And his security's been, as you would say, difficult. With all of you, you know, trying and, you know, half failing at stealth, the wizard was not very good at stealth. Both I was only decent, our rogue. Man, good luck finding him if you decide to run and hide. You wouldn't notice till there was an arrow in your face, and by then you'd probably dead and or again having me with a sword in hand charging you down, going chopping at you. But yeah, it's where it's like talk for a bit, get invited, say it's like, hey, you're sick of all this shit the kingdom's doing, its corrupt nobles and whatnot, and yeah, I'm pretty sure our DM kind of rigged his roles to make sure he won the argument. But, that's fine, that's fine. It was moving the story along, and he was really convincing. And made some good points. In store, we end up joining a resistance. And saying it was... They had their own island. It wasn't on any maps. It was hidden. Before we get dragged there, there's part of the story, and meet everyone, get along with everyone, and first event on the island, first actual, you know, big event, pirate raid. Pirates raid us. They find the island and see ships at it, decide, oh, we're gonna attack you. No one takes it seriously. I mean, not me, not my party, not even the resistance. And then, yeah. No, by the time we show up to the fight, because we were all in different corners of the island, talking with different people, I was the first one to show up. And, yeah, by then, all the pirates are pretty much dead, dying, all except one. It was how would I describe her? It was an elf girl. Small child, I mean small. Like 10 years old maybe. From looks, even by elf standards, or even by human standards. She would have been a child. But she was unique in the fact that directly from like crown to crotch split, left side, it was pale white, I mean like albino or snow, as white as you can get. It ends. The other side, straight up dark elf. Oh, where it's like one side of her looked like a dark elf, the other side looked like a high elf. Oh, and it's like, my first thought is like, okay, A, I don't remember seeing the shout on the island, and B, what the fuck am I looking at? It's like, oh yeah, my entire party was human, and yeah, it's like, it's not like we hadn't seen elves, dwarves, and whatnot. They're not that uncommon. Plenty of them in the kingdom, some were even high ranking. But yeah, this one was unique. She didn't literally, it looks like they literally chopped two elves in half right down the middle and glued them together. They're seamlessly from the way our DM described her. And I look at it's like, okay, so the fight's over. I'm not even needed. They try to decide, I'll just watch for a bit, see how they handle it. Because after all, I hadn't actually seen any of them fight before. I was wondering, huh. It's like, yeah, they're winning, but I didn't see how they got to that state. Besides, We'll watch. We'll look. Looking. Well, I thought they were doing good. Except for the oddity. The little elf girl, she was just punching and kicking people left and right, and she would not go down. Oh, and our DM hadn't given us, you know, too many outrageous combat encounters. Yeah, they may have been difficult, but we passed them all. Got through them, no big deal. When we were, I think maybe about level 4 or 5 then? And then, you know, I was fairly confident. Thoughts like, you know what? I'll go up. I'll challenge this little girl to a fight, because after all, she's clearly strong, the strongest one there on both sides. It's in, you know, it'd be kind of bad if I let my new allies just, you know, get their shit kicked in by this little girl. Oh, as I thought. Try to challenge her to a duel, and lo and behold, the moment she accepts, a bright light flashes from her chest. As none of us knew, she was wearing a magic item. And it literally transported everyone within a certain range, which was extremely large, mind you. Large enough that the other 2 party members of mine that weren't even there at the time were transported. It was pretty much we were transported to a boxing arena. Is the best way I can describe it. It's like me and her were in the middle in the actual arena, and everyone else, Pirates, Resistance members, my party members, everyone else that got sucked into its effect was put into an audience stand. And then at that point I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit, what the hell is going on? On, you know, some minor panic. Because after all, it's like, despite adventuring and, you know, running across a few magic items, this was by far the most powerful one we've seen yet. And yeah, my first thing, it's like, I go to the edge of the arena and see, it's like, am I allowed to leave? No, I'm not. I even get an explanation of, by the magical voice of God, or I can only assume it was the item's creator, which in fact turned out to be an item created on a whim by a god. But then we had to fight to the death. But then it went on for several rounds, but I lost. And it wasn't oh, I'm gonna be humble, I lost. No, I got absolutely dominated. I could not touch this little girl. She absolutely kicked my teeth in. It wasn't even bad rolls. It was pretty much, let's just say it was a scripted loss if we did this. If someone challenged her to a duel, she was something meant for the entire party to fight. It wasn't meant for me alone to fight. I was supposed to wait for my party to get there, and then we all fight her together, and it was, you know, a boss battle. No. I was the dumb one that challenged her to a straight-up duel. So, what do I get? I get my head kicked off. And it went flying into the stand and landed in a bucket of popcorn. Some of the saltiest popcorn you can find. In fact, the moment my head landed, I was forced to make a Constitution saving throw. And yeah, I failed. Well, I was forced to make 2. The first one I passed. And thanks to passing that, my severed head was still alive for a moment. I failed the second one, and now I have a bunch of salty popcorn in my neck wound. You know, where my neck had been severed and just sitting there. Looking up at the person that was, you know, a moment ago eating the popcorn going, fuck. And I just start screaming. Even before black. And then after, you know, I properly died. Everything went back to normal. Or to the exact moment before the fight started. Or before the duel started, and I'm just there, it's like, what just happened? Almost everyone there was what just happened. Everyone except the little girl. Oh, and yeah, why I'm so dazed and confused, she just runs headlong at me. And I go to put up a guard and... oh, she didn't come to attack me. She went to go and fucking bear hug me. In straight joy. Why? Cause... well, she was... as far as it was explained to me, she was a slave. Gave to the pirate crew and forced to fight for them. But thanks to the magical item activating, she was freed from her curse. And as the one who rescued her from it, she thanked me. And, you know, the schoolgirl crush, or the young girl crush thing where she had great admiration and it was confused feelings. To where we gained a very powerful ally, and my character was like, children. She went from, you know, killing me to adoring me. I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. It was just a massive situation where I don't know what's going on. Literally resistance, and yeah, I hadn't met them yet. Found out the one who was eating the popcorn that I landed in? Yeah, that was them. And they just, you know, went over the situation. So it's like, oh hey, just new ally. And, well, you're powerful. More powerful than we thought. And she pulled the shit out of you. So, yeah, and she shows no hostilities, so we'll take her. After all, we now know it was a curse that made it to where she had to fight with us. And we're not going to turn down strong allies. Oh yeah, that was an interesting first death. I got to experience death without actually dying thanks to the power of a pretty much ancient relic. Again, yeah, that's still not the dumbest death I've had with that character. Or let's see, my second death. How was that one? How did that happen? Okay, I remember. It was much later in the campaign. We were around level 8 by then. And we were on the island in between missions, you know, getting gear together, whatnot. Found a new ally. Powerful magic caster, but specialized in item creation. And was willing to be a little risky about it. Oh, it's like, during the last mission I got a new sword. It was nice. But it had ports that made it where I couldn't put in a sheath. For the simple reason that every... I don't remember the time frame interval, but it was 5 to 10 minutes. It would transform. Turn into a different weapon. It was always a one-handed sword, but it always changed into a different one-handed sword. And it wouldn't change back into a particular one for at least 4 to 5 transformations, but it was always random. It made it to where every combat encounter it got into, I had to, you know, roll percentile to see what weapon it was at that moment. And, you know, how close was it to its next transformation, because it happened at least twice where it changed mid-fight into a different weapon, and... oh, the first time I was confused as fuck. It's like, oh shit, what am I doing? What am I doing? I mean, but, you know, the second time I took it to my advantage, it made a great feint. Hit on a boss, and yeah, allowed me to score a real heavy blow. Oh, and yeah, despite its quirks, I was unwilling to get rid of that weapon for the simple fact that it had a 14 to 20 crit range. for critting with that thing was extremely simple. Well, it's like, yeah, I had to roll to confirm a crit, but if nothing else, I was guaranteed hitting and beating up things really easily. But it was a pain, you know, having it just hang off my waist. And carrying it around. One without a sheath, or powerful magic caster, spell new ally that's great at crafting magical items. It's like, maybe I can get her to, you know, make me a sheath for it. Oh man. Never thought I'd have, you know, the simple action of asking a sheath to be made turn into such an ordeal. Oh, but it did. It's... Yeah, she decided, it's like, oh, she's gonna do it. She's gonna make something amazing, wonderful, and powerful. Well, not just something simple, stupid like I asked. Not just a sheath that can transform to accommodate any sword put into it. No, no, no. She wants to make it special, make something powerful. And lo and behold, her ritual to make it went bad. And caused a massive explosion, wiping out the entire island. Oh, none of us died, by the way. No one died. It was a more akin to a giant teleportation space-time phenomenon. And for no one died. The only people that got hit the hardest were, you know, me and the party that were there, because, well, we were curious. They were curious what she could do. And yeah, let's see. Our rogue ended up getting sucked into his bag of holding and spending 10 years isolated in it. Our wizard, he got luckiest. He just, you know, time hopped 10 years. Then was back on the island. And been greeted by the, you know, the resistance that had reformed during that time. And then going, it's like, holy shit, one's back. Where have you been? Where have you guys been? And he's confused because, well, as far as he's concerned, it's literally been a second. There was just this blinding flash of light for him, and his surroundings changed. In short, he was confused, but like I said, he got off the easiest. The rogue, he had an alignment change to true chaotic, and, you know, he went a little crazy. After all, he spent 10 years in a, not just any bag of holding, but a multi-dimensional bag of holding that we had no clue what was in it ever. It was just something that was picked up near the start of the journey, and every so often it pop out an item when we really needed it. And after all, I think the most unique item that popped out till then was during a combat encounter. We were wondering how the fuck are we gonna deal with all these fucking, you know, archers? No, not archers. It was foot soldiers. But yeah, it popped out a toothpick. Well, as far as we knew, it was a toothpick. Well, he tied it to the end of the arrow, shot it, and well, that one toothpick turned into 1,000, and were grabbed up by little pixies. They're pixie lancers. So that one toothpick summoned 1,000 pixie lancers that went and devastated an area before poofing out of existence. But sidetracked again. But yeah, he went crazy, pretty much. Me? when I came to, I was in the body of an Imperial Knight officer. Confused as fuck. Because after all, this isn't my body. Waking up, wondering, it's like, okay, where the fuck am I? What happened? Walked by a mirror and I wasn't allowed to fail that perception roll of seeing that I'm someone entirely different and I realized the uniform they're wearing. I mean, after all, I've killed plenty of people up till then that wore this exact uniform. So it was definitely something, alright. Where I go through a day, panicked, confused, and trying my best and failing horribly. By the way, of, you know, trying to convince people, it's like, yeah, I'm who I look like. Again, it didn't go well. So all to, you know, why I'm separated from all the soldiers, confused, dazed, and whatnot. Go out onto a balcony and... yeah, I don't get a chance to respond before an arrow comes flying straight through my eye, killing me. Oh, and it wasn't instant death, it was painful. Because after all, the person who shot the arrow took the arrowhead off to make it blunt. They wanted to knock me out with an arrow. And that just didn't work. He spent time aiming the shot and everything, and, you know, the dice liked him at that moment. Where I got a blunt arrow through the eye, all the way, penetrate all the way through the back, and, you know, finally stopping at the back of my character's skull. Also, yes, extremely I died in extreme pain, agony, and confusion. And afterwards, I wake up in my own body, somewhere else. Meet up with everyone, and later on, find out the one who shot the arrow is for this little section where we are all majorly separated after getting blasted everywhere. The DM did one-on-one sessions to, you know, not spoil the surprises. And find out it's like, well, I was killed by an ally. Our rogue, after escaping the bag, was near a city. And decided, okay, I need to find out what's going on. Saw, you know, one of the enemy night officers, you know, separated by a wide berth from all of his soldiers. It was as if he didn't trust them. And thought, it's like, you know, I'll knock him out and get some information out of him. You know, maybe he'll turn into an ally. And yeah, we both realized he killed me. It was something to realize. It's like, because after all, the DM the entire time we're having this conversation about what happened in the 10-year gap. Us talking to each other and our little solo adventures before we finally met back up on the island. And yeah, he was laughing his ass off the entire time, knowing exactly what evil had been done and just laughing at my response. It's like, so you kill me again in another non-permanent way where I don't actually die. And it's to friendly fire on an attack that was meant to knock me the fuck out. Oh, but yeah. Worst part about that whole situation? It's like, we all lost gear and whatnot during that time. We lost magical items and whatnot from things that did not actually get teleported with us because they resisted the effect and just disappeared somewhere. or just got, you know, stuck in the in-between cracks of space, and this sheath that was gonna be fucking amazing did not make it. The sword? Yeah. And in town I figured out it was cursed. And after all, I needed a new sheath again, and I hadn't got back to the island yet. Got a dwarf to appraise the sword for me and go to make a... Well, I just asked him if he could make a sheath that would, you know, be able to work for a sword that transforms at random. And he said, it's like, sure, I just want to, you know, inspect the sword, or I can make a good sheath for it. Yeah, find out it's cursed. And, yeah, how close I was to succumbing to the curse. Yeah, that was great. That was great. It was cursed where after the 100th crit, it devoured my soul. Well, and the DM kept track of every single crit. I was somewhere at 60 or 70 crits at that moment. So yeah, I was extremely close to, you know, permanent character death. And yeah, I tried to change my request from a sheath for a transforming sword to a brand new sword. Orden, you know, he wanted to buy the sword, but I didn't sell it. So it's like, I shouldn't use it anymore, but I shouldn't get rid of it because there's probably some uses for it. Eventually found a use for it, and had a great time with it. But that was near, you know, the end of the campaign. And from then till then, it kind of sat in my inventory, just, how am I gonna use it? Never had a good opportunity to use it, because after all, it needs 100 crits to succeed. But I eventually found a way and had fun. But yeah, that was my second character death, and the little bit of tidbit about it. The third one? Oh, it's just as stupid. Just as stupid. After all, going to get healed and getting killed is one hell of a way to die. It's like we were in town. It's like me and the rogue were in town. The wizard was off doing wizard things, you know, looking into some magical gear, hearing magic items for us to restock before our next big mission. And then you know, our magical bag of holding, this interdimensional thing that just has things we don't even realize. We dropped out a single copper piece once while we were in front of the town fountain. Oh, and that was known for, you know, a wishing fountain, basically. And yeah, Tur the Rogue decides, it's like, you know what, might as well. We're about to go on a big mission. What's wrong with asking for a little good luck before the mission? Ask for it to go well. Oh, that was a dumb idea. It's like, you'd think by then, with all the dumb shit we've experienced, and all the shit that's popped out of that, magical shit that's popped out of that bag, and the random shit it's caused, both good and bad, we would know better than to, you know, use an item from that bag that we didn't put in it carelessly. But yeah. And we just, you know, the fountain went boom. Boom, disappeared. Heard I get sent flying through 3 town buildings. The rogue only got sent into the first one. And yeah, I rolled really bad on my save. So I went flying extra far. And yeah, It's like hobble my way back to our rogue. Again, it's like we got what happened. And why we're trying to figure out what happened. This man in full plate armor that, you know, it just screams paladin, comes up to us and looks at us, trying to figure out, you know, what happened here. Here it's like, hey, we briefly explained the fountain blew up. We didn't tell him that we're pretty sure we're the cause of it, we just told him it blew up. So, he offers to fix us up. And how he was gonna fix us up was, well, he pulled the hammer from his belt off and swung it down on top of our rogue's head. Yeah, we were both, it's like, going to the DM, wait, what? We're getting attacked? What are you doing? He's just laughing behind his little notebook. Look, rolling dice, and describes what happened. Just tells us it's like, he swings it down, smacks you square atop the noggin. But to your surprise, it doesn't hurt. In fact, you feel relieved of pain, and the pain you're feeling is going away. And you're confused. Both of us were. After all, I'm seeing him get fixed up. His arm that was twisted the wrong way, straightening up. And yeah, he stands up, confused, looks, and, you know, helps me kind of get up to a sitting position. And the paladin, without saying anything, explaining anything, why we're both just here, like, what the fuck's going on? Decides it's like, yeah. He just swings it atop my head. The DM rolls his dice, and his face just gets this menacing, evil grin on it. It's like, this wasn't what I planned. And I hear him rolling more dice than when he was rolling for the rogue. And after he finished rolling, I see him just, you know, hand on chin looking upward, pondering for a moment. And decides, it's like, alright, this is how this is gonna work. He swings the hammer. I need you. And the next thing he says is, I need a constitution roll. Both of us get confused, but, you know, I roll it. Because why? Well, the DM asked me to. Ooh, I don't question, I just do, and I succeed. I'm thinking it's like, okay, is this good? And he just starts laughing and laughing, the maniacal DM laugh that, you know, all of them have. And what he explains afterwards, I didn't know how to take besides, what the fuck did you do to me? For the simple fact that he says the paladin swings down his mace full force, even doing a wind-up before bringing it down on your head. Oh, that was a bad run. And says the hammer goes through your body from head to your waist, splattering your top half everywhere in the surroundings. But you are conscious for every moment of it. And after he removes the hammer in his own confusion, you start regenerating. Being back. The entire time, conscious of it. In horrible, agonizing pain. And the only reason there are no deafening screams in the surroundings are you currently don't have a head. How you're processing this, can only be explained of your very soul is feeling this pain and agony and screaming out in horror. For you experience the pain of death and the slow reconfiguring of your body back into perfect health. Oh, then after you're back up to your feet, I need another Constitution roll. And unfortunately, this time I wanted to fail because I knew it's like, I probably don't want to succeed this because it's just going to be more pain, agony, and suffering. And I passed. Critically, this time. And so he goes like, it's like, you were sitting. You're now rolling on the ground, howling in pain and agony for the entire town to hear, as your very soul feels the pain, even of death that you just went through. So, yeah, we later on get explained afterwards, because the paladin, you know, after the pain and suffering he put me through, he felt we at least deserved an explanation of why, instead of pulling out potions or using his healing magic or any of his, you know, abilities to heal us, why he swung a hammer down on us. Found out that the hammer was a family heirloom passed down through his house. It is not actually a physical hammer. It just manifests as a hammer. It is a weapon made of pure, raw, positive energy. For when you hit something living with it, it imparts positive energy on them. You know, the type of energy that heals the living. I mean, because after all, it was a weapon meant to combat the undead. But, you know, he got curious and bonked himself once with it when he was younger and found out it's like, huh. So if I bonk something living, it heals them. And apparently he was famous throughout the town for this shit. Famous in both the sense that people were, you know, reliant on him, but also terrified of him. Because after all, who the fuck's gonna handle having a hammer swung down on them at random? As something good. No, I sure as fuck ain't. I sure as fuck wasn't. But, yeah. But because of that, since it didn't knock me out right away at the start, it was treated as if I had experienced death again. And, yeah, so that was death number 3. The others, well, we're gonna save them for another time. After all, I didn't plan on a long stream actually, an hour that longer than I was already planning. I was thinking just, you know, a half hour, but I got sidetracked a lot. I then decided to just keep talking about how this character died. Okay, so I guess for now, the rest of his deaths and his pain and suffering, we'll just have to wait for another time. For now, okay, I couldn't find the pause button. Oh, but yeah, that's how this worked. That's how it happened. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna do it again in the future. How often, I don't know yet, because I do want to get back to gaming. I still have to finish Hunter X, which next week I will. I promise. Just as long as life doesn't come throwing, you know, a handful of monkey wrenches, because, yeah, this past bit, it wasn't one monkey wrench, it wasn't two, it was, you know, they threw the toolbox at me. Yeah, I was fucked in more than one way. So, yeah, I'm sorry for disappearing, but I had fun with this. I hope all of you had fun with this. And if you want to hear more of these, please tell me. Like the video, in fact. After I know you actually enjoyed my story. Even if I've only told you, you know, horrible things that have happened to this poor character. I love this character, by the way. Even if I can't remember the name, way too many fond memories to ever forget all the stuff, the dumb shit that happened. But yeah, I'll see everyone later. I hope you have fun, and good night.